What's going on with the fuel at NP, Mr. Hosein?
Well, listening to the results of your poll, I'm absolutely perplexed.
Why?
Because we have such stringent protocols from the fuels exiting Petrotrin, and to the point where we take it to the service stations. Even at the service stations, we have so many stringent protocols.
What are some of these stringent protocols?
So let me share with you. Fuel from Petrotrin comes to Sealots. And of course, we do take fuel directly from Petrotrin also. But quite a bit of it comes up to Sealots by ship. It comes with a certificate attesting to various things, run quality, density, and a whole list of things that we're supposed to. That is a requirement for fuels to meet the standards. So it comes up to Sealots by ship. Before we decant that into our tanks, we take samples, several samples, and they're tested in the lab, and incidentally, as I would have said before, we have a first-class lab that is certified and monitored.
Have you ever taken samples that you've not been satisfied with?
That might have been a rarity, as far as I'm aware.
But it has happened that you've gotten fuel that you're not satisfied with.
I can't say so with absolute certainty. It's not been my experience since I've been there.
How long have you been there, just to be clear?
Just, I think, beginning of 16.
Right, so from 2016 to now. Now, the concerns...
Which I can tell you has been a very, very long time.
The concerns about, for chairman of a board, definitely, especially for one in the fuel sector, definitely. Now, the concerns about fuel burning and fuel burning at a faster rate is something that cropped up recently, within, I would say, the last 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Has there been...
I would agree with you.
Right. Has there been any change in the protocol that you described just now about how fuel gets from point A to the pumps?
Let me explain the protocol so that, people can be assured that they are getting the same fuel they've been accustomed to getting. So when we take the samples from the ship, once they are satisfactory, and they usually are, match the specs on the certificate that comes from Petrotrin, we then decant into our tanks. Before we send out that fuel, every morning, we test that fuel, ensuring that it meets the specs, and then you send it out to the service stations. Right? In addition to that, we have regular checks at the service stations. We have about 118 stations, more or less, and they are rotated. So every month, it's rotated in such a way that every month our people, the lab goes out, takes samples to ensure that the samples are what they should be. In addition to that, the ministry does random checks to ensure that the samples are what they ought to be. So that's when I told you, given all these protocols, I'm really perplexed.
Is Bureau of Standards involved at all?
Bureau of Standards will be starting in January, but they will be certifying an exercise to ensure that you get the quantity that you pay for. But again, in relation to that, every 3 months we go around the country checking to make sure that that exercise is done and that you actually get what you pay for. So there are a number of protocols to ensure that really and truly you actually receive what you pay for.
Mr. Hosein, let us, for the sake of argument, say that the uproar from the public right now is subjective, right? That people are thinking that's what they're experiencing. Is NP looking at creating, building, developing any sort of visual campaign that allows people to see, no, the fuel isn't burning any faster or any differently? Because I think a lot of seeing is believing is what is going on here.
And I think that would have to do with miles per gallon.
Yes.
Basically.
So we are doing exactly that. at this point in time because it is of concern to us. Being the major supplier of fuels on the market, we too are trying to, understand this, whether it's science, whatever it is, or whether people are actually cheating the motoring public or what have you. We have not come to that conclusion. We are, as I said, but we are monitoring even closer. Now, what we also do, if we get complaints from the public of whatever type, quality of fuel or whatever, we immediately have a team dispatched to check and ensure whether that is so or not.
Do you test at the pumps themselves? Do you go to the pumps randomly
that's
to
why I
test?
told you, every month we go through all the stations. So in any year, a station will be visited at least 12 times a year by the senior lab personnel to ensure that the quality of fuel is up to specs.
Right.
So that is a part of a program. It's not in reaction to the public or anything. That's part of the normal protocol.
Well, Mr. Hosein, you indicated that you went through the protocols. Has anything changed at all within the last few months? Meaning, was a different supplier used? Something changed in that workflow at all? It's the same as it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
And exactly that is what has us puzzled. So then you have to look at really what are the other issues at play here, right? Because we still, while we have been using the imported fuels, we still use locally refined super. We still have Petrotrin still has a supply of super, which is going to be exhausted soon anyhow. But that has not changed. The diesel, the premium, and what have you has changed because we're now using the imported product. The local product has been completed. So you can't even attribute it to the fact that we now have a foreign supplier.